All right. Good evening, everybody. I can see the first comment already coming in into my feed. Bhavisha Buddhadeo. Good evening, says she to HSM. Thank you, Bhavisha. And I can see almost 400 of you already live across the 10 Facebook pages, 4 Facebook groups, and YouTube. My request to everybody is that please do allow StreamYard to access your name, and that's how I will be able to see your comments here. Otherwise, it might just show me random Facebook user commenting, and I would not be able to address you. I can already see a couple of more comments coming in. Malti Gosain says, "Good evening. Hi, Malti. Good to see you. It's great that you guys actually end up supporting high school moms the way you do at such an ungodly hour at 10 o'clock in the night. I always come and start disturbing your sleep. I do not know why you guys actually come and support me the way you do. We are way above 700 views already. And Deepthi Tiwari says, hi from the team. All right. Okay. Super. Okay. Now, let's wait for a couple of more minutes. In today's edition, we are taking it one step forward, bringing yet another university, yet another school to talk to you about their admissions, their criterias, their scholarships, their programs. And tonight we thought we'll talk about business management simply because it's the most sought after course for Indians when they want to study abroad, possibly the most competitive too after engineering, and that to computer science engineering. So generally when somebody asks me, what are the two most applied courses when they go abroad, I generally say computer science engineering and business management, and that's why they are the most competitive. Today, we have an international school of business management, which is truly international, multi campuses across multiple cities. And your and my child can actually get exposure not to just one country or two country, but multiple countries at a time in the same program whatsoever. So that's a great new feeling. It's a great new concept. It's not a new university. It's not a new school. They have a legacy, uh, and we will ask the representative. Today we have Director of Enrollment South Asia from Hult International Business School coming on your screens right now. Hi Neha, how are you doing?
Hi, Abhishek. Good evening. Good evening to all. It's such a pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much for having us. And definitely, there are so many people already listening to you, is because you're doing a great job in helping them out and understanding the best about different universities. So, thanks a lot, Abhishek, for having me here.
Thank you, Neha. Help me understand that business management is possibly the most sought after course that Indians look at when they apply abroad. Now, before we go into Hult as an institution, and I know it's a great institution with multiple campuses across the globe, but before we go there, uh, I just want to understand what is your take on this entire program of business management? What does a good business program, business management program entails?
So honestly, I do know most of the students that I interact with either, like you said, are interested in computer science, engineering, or then there is business, which is the second most, or definitely a very well known program after the sciences that is there. So
Okay, it seems we have already lost Neha. Her video has got frozen. Seems that she has been logged
sorry,
out.
am I here? I can still hear you well.
Yes, now you are back. Now you're
I'm
back. Your
so
video was
sorry for
completely
the
stuck.
right.
Neha, would you want to just log out once and come back? Would that help
Sure, I
you?
can do that. I can do that. But am I audible and clear right now, or do
Yes,
you
you
want
are.
me to say?
Right now, you're audible and clear. So let's go ahead. And if it happens again, I would want you to reboot. It has happened again. Your screen has completely frozen again. So if I can just request you to reconnect your internet and come back. Meanwhile, I'll be engaging the audience. All right. So Neha is going to come back. Let me just take this opportunity to again emphasize on the fact that a good business management program should ideally allow our children to have uh, multicultural experience, should allow our children to do a lot of internships, because you only learn through internships. You just don't learn only through academics, right? So a good business management program should allow my child to have a multicultural experience, and it should also allow my child to have a lot of internships. Neha is back on the screen. Neha, if we can just understand, what are the ingredients of a good business management program?
Like you were just saying, I myself really believe in practical education, because the more practical it gets, the better it is in understanding. And if you just think about business is all about the kind of network you build in and the kind of exposure that you get through the learning phase that you are in. And the best part of having undergraduate programs is that you have so much of time when you're learning, and this is the age when you're really molding yourself and becoming somebody and understanding the right kind of things. So at this age when you actually are going abroad, I think the best way to learn is through practical education, to going for internships, through the live experience that companies come on campus and they give it to you to solve. So these are the very, I would say, the only way that you can become a successful entrepreneur, if you have all of these things in your education.
Practical experience, which definitely comes through internships and experiential learning. All right, Neha, let's now quickly shift our discussion to Hult International Business School. Now, I am myself confused. You have a campus in US, you have a campus in UK, I think you have a campus in China. Let's just completely understand. You are a truly international business school, so I would not say which country you have a campus in, but how many campuses do you have across the globe?
Right, Abhishek. So let me begin from the beginning, because the thing is that it is confusing most of the times to understand what degree the student will achieve towards the end. So just to give you a background, HULT is an American university, but we have a global presence. Okay, the programs that we offer are undergraduate programs, and we have only one undergraduate program, which is Bachelor's of Business Management, Business Administration, right? And then we have a master's program, which are into different streams, and then we have an executive MBA program as well. So our campuses or our global presence is not just at an undergraduate level, but completely throughout the programs that we offer. Being an American university, our major two campuses that are there are in Boston and in San Francisco. Okay, but for undergraduate, we also have a campus in London. Okay, having said this, with the global presence coming into picture, there are another two additional campuses, which are Dubai and Shanghai. Like you mentioned, that we also have a campus in China. Now, how this works is the main two undergraduate campuses are the Boston campus and the London campus. But students can actually move around campuses in between their academic years. So it doesn't really say that if, okay, I'm joining as my base campus being in Boston, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to complete your entire undergraduation in Boston itself. In fact, you can do it 1 year in London, you can do it 1 year in Boston, and this is a flexibility which is given to the students completely. Okay. Having said this, how do you really get to another three campuses which HULT speaks about? So we do offer summer programs during the summer break, and this is the time where students can actually go in either for internships or for summer programs to the remaining three campuses, which are Dubai, Shanghai, and San Francisco. So
Right.
at an undergraduate level, you can actually explore five campuses, like you rightly mentioned. So,
At an
but
undergrad
in
level, you can explore five different campuses. This is phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is very important. Why am I doing this? Why am I bringing university after university to talk to you? Because more often than not, we Google and we get stuck on those 4, 5, 7 names, which are highly competitive and at times overrated. And we really need to have our options open. We really need to understand what are the better ones available for our children, the ones that we do not think about, but they are great places to study. And in that series, I have been able to bring so many universities to talk to you, be it University of Sheffield, be it Ryerson, be it Trinity College Dublin, be it University College Dublin, be it Huron at Western Canada, which is one of my favorites, or be it Hult, which is one of my other favorites. So you really need to listen to these shows. It will open your mind and open your horizon to different sorts of programs. Imagine if a child is going to study business management and the child is able to understand the business tactics of Shanghai and London and US and Middle East all at the same time, won't your child become a global citizen? And that's what you are expected out of a business management student, right? To prepare global citizens for the future. So that's what Neha Shetty is talking about. Neha Shetty, you are Director of Enrollment South Asia. Thank you so much for joining in. My second question to you is, uh, what are the typical specializations? Because in a business management program in India, we are used to that you can specialize in marketing, finance, HR, operations, and some schools now have started doing business management in data science, data analytics. What are the specializations, core specializations that you offer? Do you have a major, minor, dual degree program, or just one specialization?
Right. So absolutely, Abhishek. We being offering only one program, which is Bachelor's of Business Administration. Certainly, there are different majors and minors that we offer. There are five majors that we offer, and then there are three minors. So to tell you about the five majors, we have entrepreneurship being one of the most famous majors which most of the students take in. The second is marketing. The third is management. We do have business analytics program, which is a STEM course with Hult, even at an undergraduate level, which means that a student can stay back 3 years once they have done their business analytics program with us, right? And the fifth major is finance. Okay, so quickly to just again tell you about the five majors, it's entrepreneurship, finance, management, marketing, and business analytics. Okay, but along with this we realize that business is not just about understanding the fundamentals and foundations of business, right? For that you also need to have certain skills which are very important, and then we have our three minors which complement the majors that are there. So we have minors in psychology, we have a minor in computer science, and then we have a minor in economics and design. Okay, so these are the kind of minors that we
Somebody
offer.
can actually study marketing major and psychology minor. Is that true?
Yes, that
Or
is right.
entrepreneurship major and marketing minor?
That is absolutely right. In
Super,
fact,
super,
the
super awesome.
professors at Hult, in fact, just to add on to something, the professors at Hult, they just do not belong to great academic background, but they themselves are entrepreneurs. So the way they teach is just combining all of the skills together. And the best part is you have the flexibility to choose which major and which minor you would want to take. In fact, you are actually able to choose one major, and if you don't like any of the minors, you can make another major your minor. So this is the kind of flexibility that you have where you can choose maybe entrepreneurship and finance, like being one
Wonderful.
major and one minor.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I really want to make one thing clear. At times, we feel that studying entrepreneurship is only about starting your own business. This is so not true. Companies worldwide, corporates worldwide prefer students with entrepreneurship background, and they might just be preferred more over, more than an finance major or a marketing major, simply because every organization in today's time is looking at having an entrepreneur within the organization. So an entrepreneur within the organization is called an entrepreneur, and every organization is looking at those skill sets: leadership, creativity, team building. These are critical skills. Risk taking ability. These are critical skills which are imbibed into an entrepreneurship program. So if you're looking at a business management program, you should not just stop at marketing, finance, HR, operations. You should look beyond. You can definitely look at an entrepreneurship major, simply because it is a most sought after degree by the corporates in today's time, because they do need entrepreneurs within the setup and the rules and regulations and the boundaries or the organizational structure of an organization. Wonderful, Neha. This is super awesome. This is going great. Before I come to my next question, I have a quick announcement to make. So everybody listening to us, as you're aware, March 20th it is Global Ed Connect Summit. It will be live from 5:30 p.m. in the evening till 8:30 p.m. Go out there. There are links plastered on your Facebook pages and Facebook groups. The link is also there at the on at the in the bio of the High School Moms Instagram channel. So go out there and register. You will not only be able to meet Hult International B School, but you will also be able to meet 49 other leading universities from across the globe. Some names that you are so aware of, and some names that you do not know, but you should definitely be aware of them. Apart from that, your kid and my kid will be able to attend amazing workshops on branding, how to create bigger brands and companies conducted by Hult, medicines, psychology, law, a new phase of engineering. So your kid and my kid will be able to attend amazing student workshops within those 3 hours. It is an event that you cannot afford to miss. So go out there and register for it. You might not get this big an event for your and my child. 3 hours that will definitely help you in taking the right college and career decision for your kid. All right, coming back to Neha. Neha, this is for over 900 people who are listening to you right now. What are your deadlines? Are you done for this year, or there's still some time left for those kids who are, let's say, just on the verge of graduating high school or passing out of grade 12? What are your deadlines for this year? And my second question, which is a sub part of this question, and I want you to take it at the same time, is if the kid is writing the board exams in the month of May and June, the results will come out late, and I'm sure they can apply on the basis of predictives. Does the kid get a confirmed offer letter, or is it a conditional offer letter? Over to you.
Right. So, Abhishek, one good thing about Hult is that we have ruling based admissions throughout. Okay, but being a US university, we have to abide by the global deadlines which are run by the US governments for the universities. So, having said this, our very next deadline, which is coming up, is on 1st of April if somebody is looking to start their application with Hult. But beyond that, we have a confirmation deadline, which is 1st of May. Okay, this is a global deadline which is by standard, and we have to abide by the same. But the great news is that we do understand, and Hult is very flexible in understanding what the student requires rather than just sticking by the whole rules and following the same. That's why we do understand right now students are still to give their board exams, and they're still worrying about how they're going to be performing. And having said this, although our end deadline being May 1st, we will still be open to take admissions depending upon how the campuses fill up. Now, a good thing is, because we have so many different campuses, the number of students that we can take in can also differ depending upon the availability of students on different campuses. So students can even apply post May if they are seriously looking to consider Hult as one of their major options. Okay, this is with the deadlines, but yeah, for the immediate deadline, it will be April 1st. Now,
And
coming
when
to
you
your
say the
second
offer
question.
letter is confirmed?
Yes, coming to your second question, whether the offer letter that the student receive is confirmed or not. So the offer letter will be conditional depending upon what percentage or IB or A level scores they get towards the end. But a great news about Hult is that we have a very holistic approach of looking into an application. We really spend a lot of time in understanding the students' requirements and what they are looking at. Accordingly, is when we share what Hult is all about, right? So main things that we look at is passion for business, how diverse a particular student is, whether he'll be able to adjust in a practical learning environment, because most of the education that Hult offers is completely practical and very, very relevant. So having said this, the offer letter is conditional, but it is not going to be conditioned based upon you have to get 80% or you have to get 70% or you have to get 32 IB points. So it is not that. It is because we also have a personal interview round which is conducted during the admission process. And if a student is really passionate, and we do realize that while speaking to the student, that's when the offer is more or less unconditional, because there is no specific requirement of a percentage or a IB requirement or an A level requirement. Okay, on so even if the student feels, what if I get a little lower, we do understand that. And because it's very undecisive at this moment and it's too early for the student to understand how they're going to do in their boards, we are very supportive. So if the student is unable to get the required percentage, we conduct a dean's interview round, which is a part of the academic interview. So there are different ways that the offer being conditional is still very, very much dependent upon how interested the student is and how his whole admission process goes along for the Hult admission requirements.
So this is a great news for everybody who is listening, that Hult will not look at just the academic scores, but will look at the overall profile and the passion of the child and the drive and the cause that is associated with the child. Every good university, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, will Allow your child to be looked at as an individual, not just as a piece of paper, right? So every good university should actually ideally meet the child. And while you're selecting the universities, you should definitely see whether the child is allowed or allowed the flexibility to choose a major or a minor, and even change that during the course of the program. Like Neha said, that it is very much possible at Hult. Neha, one question that comes to my mind, and sorry if it is putting you onto the back foot, but because I want to be very fair and authentic and credible, and I want to provide very real, reliable, and authentic information to my audience, which is the most sought after campus to start your program?
So to be very honest, Abhishek, students who are coming at an undergraduate level, they have the flexibility to move around campuses, right? What happens is the trend that I have seen with Indians is that mostly parents are more comfortable to send them to the UK, and now it's even really beneficial for all of the students looking at the kind of opportunities that they have. Like they have a 2 year stay back option available in UK, looking at the new laws that have been passed, right? So for me, what I would recommend, the most famous campus is the UK campus, the London campus. There are two reasons for it. One is because it's closer to India, and second being that the cost, according to the US campuses, is a little less for the UK campus. Okay, these are the two major reasons. But beyond that, what I usually tell all my students is that it doesn't really matter where you begin from. It is very important where you end your education at. So there are different things, like for example, Hult, all of the campuses are centrally located. Like in London, we are in the financial district, where you'll be able to see like the London Eye right from the campus accommodation. If you see in San Francisco, we are in the Silicon Valley, surrounded with such amazing companies out there just waiting for the students to graduate. Right, in Boston, again, we are just like 10 minutes away from Harvard. We are again very central, close to the Bay. So given this centric locations, there are more practical opportunities that students can get. So if somebody is more interested in consultancy, or depending upon what profile they want to really end up with, that's how they can move and get an attention of what city is best at what. And if they're interested in finance, they can choose London. If they're interested to start their own business, they can choose San Francisco. If they're interested to start their consultancy, they can go to Boston. But the most famous, I would say, would be London, followed by all of the campuses, because everywhere there is a diversity. So just to add on to that, I know the question was something else, but this is very exciting for me because we have around 137 nationalities on campus, and we do not accept more than 8.5% from any nationality. Okay, so we have like a very, very global and diverse learning environment. So you imagine, like when you send your child out there, he's not just interacting with Indian students, but there is like students from all across the globe who he will be doing like different projects, different internships. So he doesn't have like an understanding only how business works in India, but he will be having friends all across the globe. And most feedback that I receive from my students is that they've learned a new language because they have, say, friends from different parts of the world, and they end up learning so many different languages. So I think having the kind of exposure, they will connect themselves with other students to find out which campus suits them the best. So I put it across in this way.
Super. All right, now let's come to the scholarships part. You are aware that every Indian is fascinated by this term called scholarship, and we cannot let you go. We are in the last 2 or 3 minutes of our show. So let's come back to the scholarships part. Uh, what are the kind of scholarships do you offer? What are your criteria for the scholarships?
Right. So we are definitely very, very well aware that Hult is a little premium when it comes to the cost, but that is because of the return on investment. I do know, like, just to put it across, our minimum package is $65,000 for the students who graduate. So having said this, we do understand
This is undergrad salary.
this is only undergrad that I'm talking about. All of this is just undergrad. Yes. So having said this, definitely we do offer different scholarships, and we want to keep it very fair for all of the students all across the globe, because we do not have a different fee structure for international students. It's the same structure that a US citizen will be paying as an Indian citizen, right? So to keep it very fair, there are different types of scholarship, like merit based scholarship, there is a need based grant as well, and then there is academic scholarships as well. It ranges anywhere from $5,000 Just to tell you in pounds, it will be 3,500 pounds up to $15,000, which is 10,000 pounds. And students can apply for multiple scholarship. So to put it across in percentage, it can be anywhere from 20% up to 50% or even more, depending upon how the student is in terms of his profile.
Wonderful.
So that.
All right. One important question that comes to my mind before I let you go, maybe a couple of more. Um, the first one is that internships do make, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is important for you to understand. When Neha says that their campuses are right in the hub, if you go to US, San Francisco, it's right in the Silicon Valley. If you go to Boston, it's right around the Bay. If you are there in London, it's very centralized campus again. You need to understand that the research says that the first internship or the first job that a student gets off the campus is ideally within the 20 miles of a campus. And if the campus or the institution is right in the hub or right in the corporate hub, chances are that your and my child will end up getting a better placement than any campus which is in the outskirts. That brings me to this question, Neha. What are the kind of internship opportunities that the kids get at Hult?
Right. So, this is something which I can name a lot of companies. Forbes top 20 companies also come to Hult, but I would like to answer it in a little different manner. Okay. Because at Hult, right, we really build onto the students since year one itself. Since year one, your child will have an opportunity to meet up with a career counselor where he will be building upon his resume, understanding the strengths, building a roadmap for himself to see where he wants to land up towards the end once he completes his undergraduation. Which also means that we have professors and we have a lot of different programs that we offer within the kind of programs that I mentioned, which are the kind of challenges that play a very major role. So we have companies like Ferrari, Tesla, Google, KPMG, EY, which come on campus and they give real world business challenges for the students to solve. Very, very quickly, just a very quick example. So we had Ferrari, which had come on our campus recently, and they said that to sell a car, we are already brand and we don't need a lot of effort to sell our car. But the merchandise that they have, maybe a t-shirt of Ferrari or maybe, perfume of Ferrari, that takes a lot of time to sell. So our students build a strategy for Ferrari to increase the sale of their merchandise. And a lot of them got internship opportunities right there at that moment. And a couple of them got placed further with Ferrari. So to name companies, I have a lot of companies, but to just explain it in a manner how practically relevant these things are going to matter, because I think Hult is one of the universities which has soft skills at the part of the curriculum. So it is not just towards the end when placements have to happen is when we will push a child to see what his limit is. But in fact, since year one, soft skills like presentation values and everything is inculcated in the student so that he can build a network for himself and find a job accordingly. So I have a lot of examples to give. I have a lot of companies to name, but this is in a different way, which I would describe what Hult is all about when it comes to
I
placement.
completely appreciate it. It helps us understand that when companies come, how kids actually get placed into an internship. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is very important for you to understand. When you apply for an international university, do not look at the fees in a silo. Look at the return on investment that you get. Because if an undergrad kid is getting a $65,000, $70,000 as a starting pay packet, you and me know that the starting pay packet defines your next 10 years of your life. After that, there might be some adjustments here and there, but starting pay packet actually ends up defining a lot of our initial journey. And if your starting pay packet is in thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, return of investment will definitely justify. With that, I'll call it end to the show. But it was great having you, Neha Shetty, Director of Enrollment South Asia. And ladies and gentlemen, please be there on March 20th. And go ahead in the booth of Hult International B School. They are our proud supporters for the Global Ed Connect Summit. Please be there, talk to them, ask them about everything that they want to talk about. Neha, you have 2 minutes. Whatever you want to speak, you can go ahead and speak to the audience.
Right, I'll absolutely, thank you for all of your time. Thank you for having me, Abhishek, here. And do reach out to me. You can reach out to Abhishek. He has my number. I have a LinkedIn profile. And it'll be great to meet y'all and actually understand what is the requirement that you're looking at for your child to do something different. And I'll end it with this note that every parent that I meet wants just not a child to be an entrepreneur. But when such a difficult situation like COVID comes into picture, they want this child to have a solution to it but not just run the business. So this solution of having relevant curriculum and actually creating the difference and thinking of out of the box is something that Hult offers, and this is running in our whole blood. So I would request all of you all to meet us during the Ed Global Connect, and we'll be there to have a great conversation with all of you all. And to know more about Hult, I'm sure Abhishek will help you all out in the same. So
So
thank you so much.
I will definitely try and plaster your website address and your email ID across the groups, and people can actually go ahead and then write to you directly. But it was great having you on the show, Neha. It's been a long time that we wanted you to be here. Last time we couldn't pull it off, but it's so good to have you here. And I also hope that very soon after Global Ed Connect, we will also meet once on Instagram for our Instagram audience. Malti Gosai
100%.
says, thank you so much, Abhishek sir and Neha ma'am. You both make everything so clear. Thank you, Malti, for understanding the value of what we are trying to do. It is very simple, guys. I am trying to bring the best of the universities uh, from across the globe to come and talk to you so that you are aware of your options. Unfortunately, at times we don't end up taking a decision because we are not even aware of our options. So being aware of our rights is also important as per law. You need to be aware of the right too. So it is your right to have real, reliable, and authentic information, and that's what High School Moms is trying to do. Keep supporting High School Moms. Take care. Good night, Neha. Just stay back till the time I end the show. All right, guys. Have a great night's sleep. Until next time, I wish you a safe couple of days till I come back again. Follow social distancing well. Use your face masks. Sanitize your hands properly, even if you're vaccinated, because the only way you can save others is by saving yourself. Good night. God bless.